Hi, space strategies have always garnered attention among players, and many of them have become legendary due to their intriguing storylines and gameplay. As humanity takes its first steps towards the stars, space enthusiasts are left to indulge in space games. Various strategies offer the widest selection in this genre. In this video, I will tell you about the best ones. Let's start with AI War 2, an asymmetric space strategy where humanity has lost a war against its own creations, the robots. Now, the entire galaxy is under the control of precise and unwavering machine logic, and humans are like animals in the zoo of artificial intelligence. The series is known for its massive battles involving thousands of ships, as well as a robust set of options for crafting your own adventure. In general, I recommend space strategy lovers to give it a try. Stellaris, a real-time grand strategy game where the player's main tasks include space exploration, building their own empire, engaging in military and diplomatic interactions with other interstellar empires. Everything you encounter across numerous galaxies is generated randomly. There's a rich variety of alien races to choose from, each providing a unique narrative. The game offers a deep and well-thought-out research system, a multitude of alien species, a diplomacy system, a robust spaceship designer, and vast cosmic expanses. Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion, a global space real-time strategy (RTS) game without a storyline, but with excellent mechanics and captivating gameplay. An expansion to the space strategy that was released back in 2008. The player's main objective here is to achieve dominance in space, and the absence of a story gives players complete freedom of action. You can develop your own space stations or armies, construct various structures, form diplomatic alliances, and much more. This time, diplomacy takes a back seat, and rival factions resolve their issues with powerful space fleets. Homeworld Remastered, a reimagining of the legendary space strategy games with updated graphics and support for high resolutions from Full HD to 4K. All storyline videos were reshot, and the multiplayer components of Homeworld and Homeworld 2 were combined into a single mode. Mechanically, Homeworld is a phenomenal strategy with a fully three-dimensional gameplay space. It was among the first games to break away from the flat plane. In Homeworld, players engage in massive space battles, commanding hundreds of types of combat ships. During battles, you can choose combat formations and employ various tactics to minimize fleet losses. Executive Assault 2, a sequel to the successful blend of real-time space strategy and first-person shooter. You'll take command of a robot army and set up a base, much like a traditional strategy game. However, you can also take direct control of any unit or vehicle and engage in combat on the battlefield. The game is still in early access and has room for improvement. Nevertheless, even in its current state, it's engaging to play. If you're not a fan of modern graphics but enjoy building bases in space, I recommend giving it a try. Battlefleet Gothic: Armada 2, a video game adaptation of the Warhammer Universe tabletop game. Players command a space fleet, and a notable aspect of the strategy is the customization of ship components that make up your fleet. The second installment is essentially what the first one was meant to be back in 2016. Improved graphics, refined gameplay mechanics, and the addition of new factions have all contributed to the game's success. The gameplay hasn't changed significantly. You still act as a commander of a small fleet, requiring micromanagement, without which victory is challenging. Endless Space 2, a turn-based global space strategy with slight RPG elements involving the advancement of leaders, ships, and human resources. The game is set in space, with stars, and most stars have planets that need colonization. Different galaxy modes and various races require interaction. Crafting, upgrading, and equipping the fleet are crucial, more so than the battles themselves, which are semi-automated, with very little dependence on the player. This might be the game's weakest point, but it's important to note that it's not a tactical game, but rather a grand strategy. Final Theory, a turn-based space strategy where players control a fleet of battleships in a galactic war. It primarily features simple turn-based space battles on a hexagonal grid, but with different ship classes and the ability to customize them to your liking. All ships, except for carrier corvettes, leave debris behind that blocks hexes. Ships have firing arcs so you can orient your fire in the desired direction. Galactic Civilization 3. A decent continuation of the second installment. The developers managed not to ruin the game. The third part is not so much new as it is reworked and reimagined to be more expansive and faster paced. Governing the state is more engaging, and you can engage in warfare much earlier. Equipping something other than guns and engines on combat ships has become much more useful, and ship specialization has become more meaningful. The ideology system is worth mentioning separately. It diversifies the game quite well. Multiplayer has been added, and against the backdrop of the overall acceleration of the game, this is a wonderful addition. Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, a global tactical strategy game based on the Battlestar Galactica. The player takes command of the colonial fleet during the First Cylon War. The series is actually quite good, and I recommend it to fans of space science fiction. The game's essence is straightforward: complete missions and campaign chapters, earn fuel and points, research new ship blueprints, and build them. One notable feature of the game is its fully three-dimensional space. During battles, ships can maneuver not only sideways but also up and down. Each ship type has its own characteristics and armaments. Some ships attack head-on, while others need to be turned or flanked for an attack. The tactical aspect is well presented. In complex battles, careful planning of your moves and the actions of each ship or squadron is crucial. Crying Suns, a tactical strategy with roguelite elements, where players lead a space fleet to explore a fallen empire. The game bears a resemblance to Faster Than Light as the projects share many similarities. The game boasts pixel art graphics with beautifully drawn space. The gameplay involves real-time rock-paper-scissors mechanics, which can become somewhat repetitive. Each location in the game consists of small events that tend to repeat by the mid-game, but this doesn't detract from the game due to its excellent storyline. Hegemonia Legions of Iron, a relatively old real-time space strategy game set in the year 2140, where a war between Earth and Martian colonies is ongoing. To combat a new dangerous enemy, both sides of the conflict decide to unite. Players assume command of an interstellar fleet, expanding their space empire, colonizing and capturing planets, making technological breakthroughs, and battling alien civilizations. The game features heroes who offer various bonuses. All ships are divided into 3 classes. The number of ships in each class is limited, requiring careful balancing. Nexus: The Jupiter Incident, a real-time tactical strategy game where the focus is not on the universe, but on your fleet. Instead of constructing bases and gathering resources, you'll develop spaceships and manage them. Set in 2200, humanity has changed under the pressure of globalization. The planet is controlled by powerful corporations at war with each other for even greater influence. While the game was released in 2004, it still holds up well today. It features different races, ships, and missions. Each mission assigns the player a small number of spaceships, along with accompanying fighters and bombers. The large and unwieldy ships engage in lengthy battles, giving the game a cinematic feel. Stardrive 2, a grand 4X space strategy with turn-based mechanics reminiscent of Master of Orion. Players take control of a race, leading them to explore and colonize a procedurally generated galaxy, build an empire, capture planets, and compete for survival against other races. To thrive, your race will need to engage in warfare, develop diplomacy, make friends with other races, sign trade agreements, research new technologies, construct combat ships, overcome various cosmic dangers, and much more. Aeon Command, an arcade side-scrolling strategy with simple mechanics and limited unit variety. Players control one of three factions, battling for resources. The core gameplay unfolds without player intervention. Once leaving the space base, resource-gathering ships and military vessels act autonomously. The former begin processing asteroids, while the latter swiftly engage enemies. Almost everything we influence in the game pertains to when and what type of ship our base constructs. Along the way, we can enhance ship hull properties and firepower, as well as aid the fleet in battles against enemies. Gratuitous Space Battles, a space strategy game designed for players who dream of commanding a personal fleet of spaceships and engaging in intergalactic battles. The game doesn't involve base building or resource gathering. It focuses solely on battles that take place in 2D. Players have a wide selection of ships that they can customize, adjusting attack and defense parameters. Each ship component comes with detailed statistical data such as speed, weight, fuel quantity, crew, and attack range. Before battles, you set up tactics, but during battles, direct control is not possible. Star Ruler 2, a grand 4X space strategy game where players manage hundreds of planets, explore numerous technologies, command a vast fleet, and spread their influence across the galaxy through diplomacy or military action. Additionally, you can design your own ships. Growing your empire requires ample resources. The game sends you on quests to find resources in systems where you can establish colonies for resource extraction. There, you'll encounter other races, develop diplomatic relations, engage in trade, or subjugate them. Starhammer, a 3D tactical strategy with a controllable pause feature, where humans battle aliens for a new home colonized after humanity left Earth. The storyline offers 60 missions, and there's an option to participate in regular battles unrelated to the main story. Tactics play a significant role. Each spaceship in your fleet has strengths and weaknesses, is controlled by a team, and proper pre-battle planning followed by strategic maneuvering to maintain advantageous positions will help you achieve victory. Sword of the Stars, a real-time strategy game with turn-based elements. Players can choose from 4 races, each with a unique play style and methods of exploring the 3D galaxy. The game involves planet exploration, empire management, technology research, and ship creation, destroyers, cruisers, and battleships. There's a sequel with improved graphics called Sword of the Stars 2 Enhanced Edition, featuring 3 additional unique races and other enhancements. Star Wars Empire at War, an RTS set in the Star Wars universe. The game's events occur 2 years after the events of A New Hope and overlap with Episode 3. Diverse landscapes and some units are impressive. Both ground and space battles are realistic and visually appealing, even 13 years after its release. Capturing and holding planets is a crucial aspect of the game, requiring wise resource allocation and army deployment. Like in other strategies, you gather resources, conduct research, build a base and army, and engage in battles in various familiar locations from the film series. In addition to recognizable planets and units, you'll encounter famous characters. That's all. Thank you for watching. The Image Game channel was with you. Have a good day.